Recently, I made a reaction to photographs that are uniquely Australian, and something that featured in one of those photographs that I already knew was an Australian icon, but people just reinforced that viewpoint in the comments, is the Ute. Now, I've seen and heard of the Ute before. Even before I started this channel, I knew of it. I don't know much about it, to be honest, and that's why I'm watching this video. Someone recommended this video to learn about it. This is called How the Ute Became the Most Popular Car in Australia. Now, I knew it was a bit of an Aussie icon. I thought that might be just because it was very unique as a vehicle. But I didn't know it was the most popular car. Tell me if you've had one before, what it's like to drive, what it means to Australia. And yeah, someone told me in the comments of that other video that the Ute is where modern day pickup trucks actually originated from. So can't wait to learn about it. Let's watch.
This type of car usually elicits one of two responses. The first one being, what the hell is it? And the second one invoking a deep sense of pride into one of Australia's automotive icons. I'm the Car Doc, and today I'm going to tell you the history of the Ute. Back in the early 1900s, car inventors across the globe were a life of ingenuity and innovation. Not a day would pass where a new car, a new engine or new gadget would come out to improve the lives of the wealthy, and usually the wealthy because cars were not available to everyone at this time. Ford at the time was well established in America, and in 1925 opened an offshoot in Victoria, founding Ford Australia. The first Model T was in fact produced from a makeshift production line within a converted wool storage warehouse. In 1932, a letter was received from an unnamed wife of a farmer requesting a vehicle to go to church on Sundays in, and which can carry our pigs to market on Mondays. So not much then. In response, Lou Bant, a Ford designer, took the Ford Model A chassis and placed a large tray at the back and coined the name Coupe Utility. Australians...
I never knew of its beginnings. That's very humble beginnings. The fact that a farmer's wife literally just wrote a letter to the company that produces cars shows like amazing accessibility to these organisations, and just ask for something she can go to church and then carry pigs on another day, and then actually they made it into a vehicle. That's absolutely mind-blowing. And then when you mentioned like utility, I never pieced it together that Ute is just short for utility, like a utility vehicle. That probably says a lot about my intelligence, critical thinking, but that story, I mean, you just wouldn't get that these days, honestly.
Coupe Utility. Australians, always trying to save time by creating nicknames, consequently birthed a whole new class of car, the Ute. When Henry Ford was initially shown the new Model A, he reportedly and affectionately described it as a kangaroo chaser, but we know today that that car was an overnight success, which spawned a whole heap of new models like the 1941 Ford, the Ford Anglia and the Ford Falcon, alongside many more that they still make today.
I mean, for me, even compared to normal modern pickup trucks, there's something so satisfying to look at it, man. I think it's because it looks so much like a normal car here, goes into the pickup truck. It's like very low to the ground compared to a lot of pickup trucks. It's not as tall as normal, or what you would consider normal pickup trucks. It's just such a cool vehicle, man. It looks very aerodynamic as well.
So far so good then, but the Australians weren't about to let the Americans have all the fun. Enter stage left, Holden.
Yeah, people told me about Holden before. I think I reacted to a couple of their adverts before. I believe they're not in business anymore, people told me, but tell me if you ever had any Holden vehicle. What did they mean to Australia being like an Australian motor vehicle manufacturer?
Holden was founded by a British migrant in 1856, where him and his German partner created parts for motorcycles. During World War I, Australia was cut off from the rest of the world due to trade restrictions, and the company started manufacturing the whole vehicle shells. These vehicle shells supplied some of the biggest car manufacturers on the planet. After a brief stint helping to produce guns during World War II, Holden was specifically funded by the Australian government to create Australia's own car. The original, less expensive 4-cylinder mid-sized sedan just didn't cut it in the rugged Australian terrain, so the V8 Ute was born, and they quickly became the workhorse in rural areas. Even though Holden Utes were quite clearly successful, it wouldn't be an Australian company if they stopped there.
Yeah.
Holden knew they were onto a good thing and a performance vehicle division was created.
Yeah, those things, man. Those are the ones. I like the original one, definitely, for its practicality. But these, like, sporty looking things are just... They're beautiful, really.
Holden Special Vehicles, also known as HSV for short, was founded in 1987, and they took the cult classic V8 Utes and they turned the wick up to 11, providing much more powerful V8 engines and big pumped up body kits. The most famous and popular HSV is called the Marloo, sharing its name with many Aboriginal dialects for thunder. This car is notably famous for breaking the record for the fastest production performance pickup, hitting a top speed of 168 miles an hour. And when you consider that this car is just short of 2 tons, there's nothing less than impressive.
That's
Sadly,
mad.
Holden shut up shop last year and no new Holdens are being made in Australia. But it's safe to say that they've made their mark in cementing the Ute as an automotive icon.
1 in 3 cars in 1954? Is that saying that 1 in 3 cars were Holden?
The Australian public realised that the V8 would not only be good at lugging your family to church and pigs to the market, but it would in the right hands be quick, thus birthing the V8 Super Ute Racing League. The V8 Super Utes were an instant hit due to the fact that they were quite aggressive on track and ran a reverse grid, where during qualifying the slowest driver actually starts at the front and the fastest starts at the back, meaning it's a bit of a mishmash of madness. The drivers were all given nicknames in the Australian way, which created a family-friendly and relatable racing series enjoyed across the country until 2017.
Tell me if you ever went to one of those races. Is this Bathurst? Like at those tight, the tight track, up and down those hills and things like that? That I need to see a video of these bad boys racing, man. Not only do they just look cool, but racing. I love the concept there as well, where the fastest starts at the back, the slow starts at the front. That's actually a very fair way, man. You get a very even race doing it like that. See those fast ones just breaking through everybody.
The loud screams of the V8s were retired, but the series lives on with straight 6 turbo diesels that can pump out a whopping 340 brake horsepower. Although I can't help but feel that something was lost in losing these V8 Super Utes. As time goes on, there is an increased push towards becoming more environmentally friendly, and the space for big gas-guzzling Utes is rapidly diminishing. So what does the future hold for the Ute? Well, the only thing I can see on the current market that is a potential replacement and a future kind of cool option is the Tesla Cybertruck. Now, this is definitely a car that you would love to hate. Now, Elon Musk has promised a Ute version of the ridiculously cuboidal-looking futuristic electric beast. Importantly, it will still have impressive pig-carrying ability for the general public, but will also have the ability to do 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds. And considering how heavy that car is, that's a terrifying prospect. Now,
I've seen the Cybertruck before. I've never really considered that its shape is actually quite similar to that classic Ute, the way it goes down at the back and just has that big space compared to even a normal pickup truck. Elon Musk has been copying Australia's
now
homework.
Ford have got an electric F-150 Raptor on the way, which will be very capable and is likely to dominate the Ute market. But personally, I can't help but feel that the true spirit of the Ute is in these older V8 cars. Luckily, there is a thriving used car market, and living in Australia, you see these V8 Utes razzing around every day. So with its strong and steady fan base, I think this car will stay well and truly alive for many years to come. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please consider liking and subscribing, and stay tuned for more car reviews and features coming soon.
Yeah, awesome, man. That was great. Yeah, so very humble beginnings with just a letter. That letter from this farmer's wife changed history in Australian motor vehicles, man, and brought this amazing vehicle to the masses. That's brilliant. Such a cool, humble story. And yeah, seeing those racing ones, I need to do a reaction to that. Tell me if there's any famous races of those racing Utes, man, V8 Utes. And yeah, tell me if you've ever been in one. Tell me if you've ever owned one, what it's like, and yeah, what that car means to Australia. Thanks.